A lot of our parents come to us and their life is in constant flux. Whether they don't know if their child's going to have an episode. A lot of them deal with medical conditions as well as learning issues. And so going to the doctor, the hospital, those types of things are not planned. We can set lots of goals, have lots of schedules that never get done. And the goals that we do set, we're taking a good guess, but not sure when our child is going to achieve those goals. It's not like we sit down with a curriculum book and say, okay, we're going to start in chapter 1, and by the end of the year, we'll be done here. We may be done in 3 years. And I remember when I shared that with an audience, and they said, you mean it? Really? We may have to take 3 years? And I said, yes. But it's when you hear that, it's like defeating that your schedule can be so off from where you expect it to be. And there are all these other things that are going to come in that are going to disrupt my well-laid plans for how I think life should go.
And I think, to me, that gets into like a mindset problem. And we learned a lot of that from our success books and our business books about time management and the perfect system.
Yes.
And we have to remember that's new as far as history is concerned.
Hmm.
We didn't learn in time frames until recent years. Learning was experiential.
Yes.
And I use martial arts as an example. Is a black belt wasn't, okay, in 1 week I'll do this test. Is you begin to learn, and as you hit progression milestones, that was what it was.
Yeah.
And if you did that in a year or 6 years, it didn't make any difference. Time was not the important thing. It was, what is your goal? Not how
Mm.
fast you get to your goal, but what is your goal, and what's the process to get there? How long it takes
Yes.
or how short it takes is irrelevant.
Mm.
We have to
Mm-hmm.
understand that the whole idea of time management, we can't manage time. We have 24 hours every day.
Exactly.
We can do, we can do action or activity management, but we don't manage time.
Right.
We have 24 hours, the end. That's what you
Mm-hmm.
get.
Right.
How you use it 24 hours is up to you, but you don't have to manage your activities so much and to put, and we're going right back to the first question, the experts.
Yeah.
Okay, our society says I need to have a plan and we need to follow this exact ways. If I don't, then something's wrong, or I screwed up, or I made a mistake. Why do we
Mm-hmm.
need all those plans? How about goals? My goals for my child to learn A, B, or C.
Mm-hmm.
How that happens should not be so important. When that happens is also not important because everyone is different.
Mm-hmm.
Parents with young athletes, I encourage them, don't try to peak your kid in third grade.
Oh, yes.
You
Yeah.
know, if he's meant to be a professional athlete, it will happen at the time frame it's meant to happen at.
Mm-hmm.
Some kids peak at different levels for different things. But if we try to put them in a box, we're hurting and
Right.
hindering them.
Mm-hmm.
Child with special needs is simply a child that has its own, his or her own time frame.
Mm.
We have
That's
to smile.
beautifully put.
We have
Mm-hmm.
to smile and say, "I- I'm joining you.
Right.
And here's the goal.
Mm-hmm.
When we get to that goal, we'll set a new one.
Yes.
But
And that's
how?
why we tell parents oftentimes to write 3 main goals a year for their child and to focus on those above anything else, because it often takes a lot of different means to get to those goals. And then to just, if you have to let everything else fly out the window, those are the 3 things that you focus on when you have time. Those are the priorities.